Folks, as we said in the last hour, the government shutdown continues. Senate Democrats and House Democrats have remained firm on the issue of health care. The Senate voted tonight on the issue. Of course, it was 50 to 44 vote. So they'll reconvene tomorrow. Joining us right now, Senator Cory Booker. Senator, glad to have you on the show. Man, it's been too long. Last time you were here 3 years ago. So we got to do this a lot more often.
Hold on, Roland. We know each other a long time. I just got to call you out on it. Why do you need Roland Martin unfiltered? I have never met you.
Easy.
You were filtered. I've never met you when you were filtered. You were always unfiltered.
Right, but it's for the people who don't know me and the people who I can't text on their cell phone because some people keep changing their number.
I have never dodged you, man. I will give you my new number.
Yes.
Not if you're live on the air.
but obviously not live on the air, duh. But you know, you gotta say Roland Martin unfiltered because not everybody know a brother. You know, I meet new people every day.
This is why I appreciate you because you and I don't hope I don't call you out by calling you a friend, but you're the kind of friend I love because you're the one that will always tell me the truth, even if it's uncomfortable.
Absolutely, such as you ain't wearing a pocket square, or are you? What are you doing? What's up?
I am not wearing a pocket square.
Yes,
sir.
I'll explain that to y'all later.
I just want everybody on the show to know I'm feeling kind of like important. I'm being hustled into the national convention, the Democratic National Convention. There's tons of people on the floor, and suddenly I get this yell from Roland. Yeah, the whole place quiets, and here's you call me out saying that I did not come correct. I don't look ready for the stage. Everybody cracked up. I felt like, how could my brother do that to me? You could whisper things like that.
No, I'm trying to help a brother out because you were looking bland.
I remember this. You called me out because my shoes did not match my suit. That's what you called me.
Yes, I did. Yes, see, again, brothers helping brothers. All right, let's get right into it. Let's talk about this shutdown. I'll say this here. You can disagree. That's fine. I think the last 10 months, Democrats have been flailing in the wind, trying to figure out how to properly punch back and connect with the American people against Republicans. I believe this government shutdown, which I support, in that the fight over health care is a fundamental issue. And based upon polling data, it seems that Democrats have gotten their sea legs and people are responding to calling out Republicans on this very issue. And it is one that Democrats should stay healed. They should absolutely not give an inch on.
First of all, I just want you to know this is a real issue for Americans. We're going to see this twin tsunami that Republicans unleashed. The first is they attacked Medicaid. That's going to hit at the end of next year. And now they're gutting the Affordable Care Act, which was part of their 2025 plan. Their Project 2025 plan is going to gut the Affordable Care Act subsidies. The combined losses will be in the many, many millions, but more savagely, in addition to millions losing their health insurance, millions and millions more, multiples more, will see their premiums skyrocket. And what that means for Americans is a lot of pain at a time that everything else is going up. The cost of energy, the cost of groceries, the cost of gasoline. And so Donald Trump, who promised to lower costs on day one, has done nothing but the opposite. And so Democrats have drawn a line and said, listen, if you want our votes and you need our votes, you control the House, the Senate, and the White House. But your responsibility is to pass a budget. You are not going to get our votes unless you do something about this crisis of your creation that's going to cause pain to tens of millions of Americans.
And what we're seeing a lot more robust talking on this, communicating. And go live to my iPad right now. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett is live on YouTube with her quarterly update on this government shutdown. We're seeing the messaging absolutely improve. I actually saw a lot of people, frankly, saying that a video that Senator Chuck Schumer put out was an excellent video. Hadn't heard that all year. And so take us inside. Was there a coming to Jesus moment to get Democrats to understand that they've got to communicate better with the people to understand what is going on and not sort of talk at 30,000 feet in Capitol Hill language?
Well, look, I went to Chuck, and you know this, last Congress, and said Democrats have a problem. They don't realize that most Americans get their media through their handheld devices. And I asked him to give me the job of trying to get my caucus to communicate more effectively on these digital platforms. And I have to say, my caucus took to it in an extremely incredible way. Like, you had people starting accounts, putting themselves on accounts, learning the best ways to communicate on these platforms, be creative in their making of videos, work with creators and influencers. We have seen the amount of engagement that Democratic caucus, the 47 of us, have online go up fivefold. Millions and millions more followers. For the first time, we passed Republican senators in the amount of engagement we're getting online. And so this storm, this healthcare crisis, hit at the right time where Democrats really have been peaking in their ability to communicate. And I'm very glad to see millions and millions of people engaging with senators in a direct way on their platforms, where senators are laying it plain that Donald Trump is coming after your health care. Donald Trump is going to raise your health care costs for many people, doubling your premiums. That Donald Trump, who gave tax cuts to the wealthiest of Americans, all while raiding your subsidies and resources you have for your family. This is a president that clearly works for millionaires and billionaires, and no hating on them, but he is working against working people, and we're seeing it in everything, especially right now, we're seeing it in healthcare.
When we talk about what we're seeing, I did a video back in January after the inauguration that I said what we're seeing right now is a massive effort to defund Black America from Donald Trump and these MAGA folks. They are attacking every single thing. They're attacking Black education. They're attacking books. They're forcing companies to pull back billions of dollars in DEI commitments. They are attacking, look at 300,000 Black women out of jobs. You look at Black men, Black youth out of jobs. You look at the attack on everything. And what we are seeing, this is real. This is a significant threat to the future of Black America. And I'll tell you, Senator, and I had text your old number, then your staff was monitoring. I was really pissed off when you had one of your colleagues, Senator Eric Schmidt, who gave what I call one of the most racist speeches ever, where he gave a speech to Peter Thiel's group that said that essentially this country is ours. Our ancestors founded it for us and only for us. And it was, I hit a number of Democrats who didn't say anything. We are dealing with people who do not want Black and brown people in this country. And the attack on Black and brown people is clear from Republicans.
So I'm going to say this very plainly. Black folks have been at the center of every movement for social justice, for economic opportunity, for healthcare, for strength. I mean, you look at our history, Black people have been a part of making America, America for more people, not just Black people, but from the labor movement to the suffrage movement. You see African Americans at the center of making America live up to its promise for more Americans. And so this idea that we are divisible, that we could separate Black folks from America is outrageous. And I'm seeing exactly like you said, you ran through the data very quick, but Black unemployment, the attack on Black artists and Black writers, the firing of Black employees from federal jobs who've been there, career employees, for trumped up reasons. When he got rid of the head librarian, the first time it had ever been a Black woman, saying that she was putting inappropriate materials out for lending to children, when the Library of Congress doesn't even lend to children. It's a reality that just is painful. So I
mean, look, trying to fire the Black president at George Mason, who's been doing a hell of a job. I mean, they are going after Black folks left and right.
But I want to say this again. James Baldwin said this so eloquently when they came after Angela Davis wrongfully. He said, if they come for you in the morning, then they're going to come for me at night. So understand that what Donald Trump is doing is a threat to everyone. What he's doing in immigration is a threat to everyone. What he's doing to free speech is a threat to everyone. Black folks are a canary in the coal mine. And his attacks on African Americans is an attack on the Constitution itself. And when you erode the rights of some people, you affect the rights of all people. And we've got to understand in this country more than ever that we're all in this together. And a president who singles out Black folk in the way that he's doing, that literally comes after our communities, our culture, our artists, our scientists, our engineers, our universities. When he comes after black folks like he is doing, he is threatening the well-being, not just of blacks, but of all of America.
But they don't think it's all of us. They do believe it's for them. I talked about this last month, and I played the whole speech. This is just 1 minute and 36 seconds. And listen, a lot of Democrats wouldn't touch it. The CBC put out a small statement, was no big deal. I don't know if the DNC did anything. I hit Ken Martin about it. But when I saw this, and I said, wait a minute, this is a sitting United States senator. They just gerrymandered Emmanuel Cleaver's seat in Missouri. And this is a man who sits in the same chamber with you, who said this in 2025, just last month. Roll it.
The Continental Army soldiers dying of frostbite at Valley Forge. The Pilgrims struggling to survive in the hard winter soil of Plymouth. The pioneers striking out from Missouri for the wild and dangerous frontier. The outnumbered Kentucky settlers repelling wave after wave of Indian war band attacks from beyond the stockade walls. All of them will be astonished to hear that they were only fighting for a proposition. They believed they were fighting for a nation, a homeland for themselves and their descendants. They fought, they bled, they struggled, they died for us. They built this country for us. America, in all its glory, is their gift to us, handed down across the generations. It belongs to us. It's our birthright. It's our heritage, our destiny. If America is everything and everyone, then it is nothing and no one at all.
Senator, he said for us. He is not talking about you and I.
Yeah, but what about this is surprising to you?
No, it's not surprising to me at all. I wrote the book called White Fear. It's not surprising. My problem is, did any Democrat go to him and say, who the hell were you talking about? Was he challenged?
Yeah, look, from Mitch McConnell to Ted Cruz, I sit in committee hearings. I watched Ketanji Brown Jackson get attacked in ways that were callous, cruel, and frankly, deeply bigoted. I find things that my colleagues say often incendiary and in many ways trying to get a response. So let me tell you what my focus is. First of all, one of the best issues for well-being to all your listeners is to realize you do not have to attend every argument you're invited to. I want to be clear to you right now, because Donald Trump is the chief of this, trying to bait us into debates and arguments over his incendiary, outrageous stuff. All that's distracting us from the deeper fight that's going on right now is that I've got hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people in my state, including African Americans, that have their health care under threat. And so these are the fights that I'm focused on right now. And it doesn't mean that I don't step out and condemn what people say, and I have done that on many things. But I'm telling you right now, and in fact, I don't have to tell you because you reported on it, that part of their strategy is to overwhelm us, to give us so much stuff that we spend all of our time reacting and not being proactive. My focus right now is the fight to keep the health care of millions of Americans, and in particular, the hundreds of thousands of people in New Jersey who are going to lose their health care.
I have three panelists. I want a question from each one of them. Your folks told us we had 20 minutes, and so they're giving us a 2-minute. I'm not sure why, because that's not how my clock is looking. So if I can get those questions, I would greatly appreciate it.
I need to come in there in studio. Where are you recording this?
No, I'm live on my show. My studio. I'm at 16th and K. Matter of fact, you should come to see this black-owned. Look, there's no other studio like this. The color. Trust me, there's nothing like. Turn the camera around. Since he ain't been here, come on, turn the camera around. Look at this.
I want to see the whole thing.
Look at this. You got Harry Belafonte, Ida B. Turn the lights up. Turn the lights up so he can see. You got Ida B. Wells. Look at the artwork. Harry Belafonte, James Baldwin. Man, forget MSNBC, CNN, Fox News. You don't get any blacker than this. Look, I got Obama on the wall over there. I got MLK on the wall. We've got everybody in here. So
this is what I want to say. This is what I want to say for your listeners, because I appreciate this about you. it is not just the symbols that you put up. It's the substance you bring, even when nobody is watching. There's been a number of times that you've come into a room, you and I have been in the same room on opposite sides of the table. You're with the journalists, I'm with the senators. And the same person you are on TV, fighting for African Americans, fighting for the issues our people care about, even behind closed doors. So anybody could put posters of Malcolm X on their walls, and Lord knows a lot of people do. But when nobody's looking, they're not standing up and fighting like you do for folks. So I just want you to know that's why I will always respect you, always heed your call, even though you lost my number.
I ain't lose your number. You changed your number. We ain't gonna go here.
Even though you called me out, even though back then I was single too, you were calling me out.
I know you engaged. I know you engaged. I'll have a conversation with her later. But let me. I got to get my questions in. Mustafa, please. What's your question for Senator Cory Booker?
Okay.
Well, Senator Booker, it's good to see you. We travel a lot of roads.
It's great to see you, man. It's great. And you put the pocket in square. I'm going to just tell you, you're being a little bit of a brown nose to the host.
No. He's an alpha. He's a fellow alpha. It's a smart man.
Senator Booker, it's good to see you. We've been.
I'll ask you your question on one condition, man. When my book comes out in a few months, you'll put me up at least for one shot and all that, and those incredible books by Black authors you got up.
Oh, without a doubt, that's not a problem.
Okay, all right.
So we've been a lot of places together. Can you in this moment, there's all these impacts that are happening to our community. Can you talk a little bit about what your North Star looks like for Black folks? I know you embrace everyone in the country, but we're talking about Black folks.
No, but I'm the only senator, to my knowledge, that lives in a Black community, in a majority Black city. You talk about your room. I keep this map up right there above the continent of Africa because I'm on the subcommittee. But above that is the Central Ward of Newark, New Jersey, the first people to ever elect me. And I don't forget the people that first put me into public service in the position I am right now. So this is my North Star. For African Americans right now, to live in a country where every African American child has access to great health care, every African American family has access to great health care, where every African American family who works hard doesn't find themselves with constant gnawing economic insecurity because their paychecks don't go far enough, where they can actually afford rent, where the harder they work and the more they apply their genius, the more rewards they get. They don't find themselves in poverty traps, where the educational system serves their genius and gives generation after generation chances to make out of themselves what their ancestors dream of. And then finally, you and I know this, is where part of that vision of health and well-being includes healthy food, access to nutritious food, free of environmental toxins, where a child doesn't have their entire future upended because they live in a nation that is toxic, or a community or a neighborhood that's toxic. Toxic air, toxic soil, toxic food.
Larry.
Yes, Senator Booker, thank you for taking time. I must say that I was born in Camden, New Jersey. Still have a lot of family in New Jersey and across the bridge in Philadelphia also. So my question was, I want to talk about redistricting, and we saw what's happened in the last couple of months in states throughout the country. We talked about it in this show tonight. And can you talk a little bit about particularly with Black political power in terms of the number of possibly, particularly Black congressional districts could be, eliminated, and the impact that will have on Black political power in the future?
Yeah, well, it's no longer, that is happening. That is happening. A lot of these states that are now rushing to redistrict are targeting African-American representatives and doing what I've seen in a lot of cities, where they take a Black community and they parse them out like pieces of the pie to dilute African-American votes and African-American representation. And so this, to me, is why when the Supreme Court guts the Voting Rights Act, when the Supreme Court guts the fundamental protections that African Americans have, it's what then makes us vulnerable to what I think is a bigoted targeting of legislators that are trying to undermine equal representation.
Cameron Trimble, The youngster on the panel.
How you doing, Senator? Cameron Trimble here.
Boy, I just told your name. You ain't got to repeat your name. Go ahead, ask your question.
I want to know where he's from.
From Cleveland, Ohio, but here in Washington, D.C. I had the honor of serving as President Biden's Director of Digital Engagement for the first 2 years. And so my question is squarely there. With you mentioned the five-fold increase of digital engagement kind of across platforms. But as we see the landscape of digital, especially social media, changing with TikTok and what we don't know is going to happen there. Obviously, all the bots and how how so many different things on our side have been either shadow banned or suppressed. Have you really spearheaded or doing planning with you and your colleagues across the party, not just in the Senate, how we can look to fight back against that in these upcoming elections? Because we can't take for granted just because we can accumulate followers and we can accumulate interest now that the algorithms in the playing field which is rapidly evolving. Like what efforts are you seeing? Because I think so much is going to be won and lost on the digital landscape across the board.
Yeah, you're right, and it's very terrifying what can happen because the landscape is changing so quickly. With AI, the sophistication of bots and the sophistication of algorithm influence is really growing. So I will say I'm having a lot of conversations both on the official side as an elected leader that should be doing everything we can to try to protect our communications and speech from malign influence or these platforms finding ways to unfairly choke certain content, shadow ban, as you said, and more. But I'm also thinking about this on the political side of how do you run elections in this new environment, because just the Obama era, all the innovations that were thought the Democrats were seen then to be on the cutting edge. Well, we're well behind the game right now as a party and have a lot of catch up to do. And so I am doing a lot of meetings with people that are with the party that are investing in this space and trying to not only play good defense versus bot farms and all these other things that are undermining these platforms and our influence and our voices, but start to play offense as well so that we can get our messaging out there and seen by wider and broader audiences. And I will tell you this, bringing this back full circle to Roland, is we who many of us live as African Americans in the culture on certain platforms and engaging. You know, it started back in the old days with Black Twitter, but now it's evolved in a much bigger way. When you have a lot of people making communications decisions, but they don't understand the Black community or the Latino community, the diverse Asian American community, they are going to miss opportunities to communicate to those offices and leave our community feeling like they often do, where you're just not talking to us. You're not communicating us. We don't know what you're doing for us. Exactly. And that's why platforms like this, but strategies are so important as well.
Well, you're absolutely right. And I'll end it with this here. Not disappearing, but they got to make investment. And I'm telling you, I've dealt with too many campaigns where they play us small, they throw small amounts of money, and I see other folks getting 6- and 7-figure ad buys, and I'm sitting here going, really? But then they want us to come save their asses in the last 3 weeks of the campaign. And I've said this directly to Senator Chuck Schumer. I've said it to Jeffries. I've said it to Ken Martin. I've said it to folks, DSCC, DCCC, House Majority PAC, Senate Majority PAC. Don't just sit here and reward us with meetings. Reward us also with advertising, because you do it to Sinclair, you do it to Nexstar, you do it to Tegna, you do it to CNN, MSNBC, but they always play Black-owned media small, and that's one of the reasons why we can't actually build and have scale, because we never see those dollars. Those are just facts.
And for people that don't know this, when campaigns are spending literally hundreds of millions of dollars on communication, and they think they can communicate to our communities without going onto platforms like these and doing what we do with other platforms that go to the majority, they're making not only a bad mistake in terms of getting to the Black community and communicating to the Black community, they're also undermining Black communication apparatuses altogether. So Roland, you and I have been talking about this for years. When I came into the Senate, it was a much different place. And now, thanks to Chuck Schumer's leadership and others, the people making decisions in the DS are more diverse. And you see Black faces in those spaces helping to actually decide where money goes. And that's making a big difference.
Well, it might be more diverse, but I can tell you, I don't recall seeing any of that in 24. So we'll see what happens in 2026.
Okay, man.
All right.
Well, I'm running in 26, so let's talk about it.
All right, Senator, we appreciate it. Send me a text, and let's have you back on, and then we'll have you in studio. Let me know when your book comes out as well.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
All right, thanks a bunch.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase, and I'm here with a very important message. We are at a turning point in the Black community where we must have equity in the apps we use that scale to billions of dollars. But this time, we own the infrastructure, we own the culture, and we shape the future. And Fanbase is the future. Fanbase combines the free functionality of Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube into an all-in-one platform built for the evolution of social media and monetization. With over 1.4 million users, that's real proof that we are shifting the conversation of tech ownership and equity for creators. So right now, I want you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. This marks a turning point in Black ownership of social media. If we don't take this opportunity to own social media right now, we will always be customers to our own creations. And that can't go on. So once again, go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. We must own the platforms where our voices live, our stories matter, and where our culture drives the world. Thank you.